Hi, this is David Mills with TBT Real Estate. I am located here in Lake Jackson, Texas, primarily serving the Brazoria County area. I am licensed to sell real estate all over the state of Texas. Alright, so finally, there is something to be excited about in the real estate market. And I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase that no news is good news. Well, that's exactly why I'm excited. I'm going to explain why. No longer are we hearing the narrative that the housing market is about to crash. I mean, there were so many social media gurus spouting this information all over the internet, saying that the housing market was going to crash. We were going to see 20% drops. And, granted that there's still the opportunity for something to happen, but you no longer hear this narrative. And as well, on the other side, we're not in that environment where you're hearing people are paying $100,000 over asking price. You're no longer seeing people buy a home sight unseen in lines outside of open houses. It's not happening no more. It's a little bit more calm, quiet, relaxed, right? And that is good news for the housing market, right? So here on this monthly update that I do every month, one of the things that we focus primarily on is the months of inventory. Now, the months of inventory, that is basically saying if there were no more homes that were sold and buyers continue to shop at the same rate that they're shopping currently, how many months of inventory would we be able to supply before we ran out of homes to sell, right? So that determines whether we are in a buyer's market, a balanced market, or a seller's market, right? So let's get into those numbers. There is a bit of a surprise, something that jumped off the page for me when I was looking at the numbers concerning Lake Jackson. So if you're interested only in Lake Jackson, you can skip ahead to Lake Jackson or Angleton, whichever city that you're most concerned with. But there's some value in understanding this market, especially for real estate investors and buyers who may be looking to buy somewhere in this general area, and you'll get a good grasp of what's going on. All right, let's get into it. All right, so first up, we have Alvin. Alvin has a number of active listings at 88, which is down from the previous month. And also, we have a number of sales for January at 29 sales, which is down also from 36. And in Alvin, this is very important for the sellers. If you have your home on the market, the number of days on market is 63 days. Now, that's also important for the sellers, but even more important for the buyers, because you don't necessarily have to rush to make a decision where, last year we were seeing homes be on the market for an average of 10 days, which is crazy. All right. So the median sales price in Alvin is $254,990. And the big one, the important one to understand, is the months of inventory in Alvin is 3.3 months of inventory. I call that a balanced market over in Alvin, Texas. All right, next up we have Angleton, Texas. All right, the number of active listings in Angleton, Texas is 68, right? And the number of sales for the month of January is 16. Now, we do have a days on market of 73, which is starting to stabilize over there in Angleton. And then we have a median sales price of $286,000. All right. And again, the big takeaway here is the months of inventory. You have 4.3 months of inventory, a healthy, balanced market in Angleton. All right, so next up we have Lake Jackson. Here we go for Lake Jackson. The number of active listings, 65 active listings, and the number of sales for January were 15, right? That is the lowest number of sales we've seen in any month since 2017, right? So granted, January is generally one of the slower months of the year, but still that is the lowest that it's been since 2017 of January of 2017. All right. The days on market for Lake Jackson has gone up. It's 67 days on market versus 56 days previously. and the median sales price is $229,000, right? And the months of inventory for Lake Jackson is 4.4 months, right? So Lake Jackson was kind of hanging around in that seller's market, and now we are in a balanced market in Lake Jackson as well, a healthy market. All right, so next up we have Clute. There's some pretty exciting things going on in Clute. You have a bunch of new construction, and I will say this, and if you watch the channel, you already know this, I do exclude new construction from these numbers, but there's some pretty good things happening in Clute. And so let's get into it. The number of active listings in Clute is 19, and the number of sales in Clute was 10. Now that is up 66% over in Clute. And the average days on market were 23, which was down significantly from 32. And the median sales price is $180,000. And guess what? With those type of numbers, the months of inventory over in Clute is 2.2 months of inventory. Okay, so there's gonna be some sellers that need to come on the market over in Clute. Hey, if you're in Clute, it's a good opportunity for you if you're looking to sell your home. All right, let's go to Freeport. Now, the caveat for Freeport, before we get into it, Freeport can have some effects from the beach homes that are located in Freeport. That's more of a seasonal thing, and we are going into the buying season for beach homes. All right, so Freeport, the number of active listings were 63 active listings. The number of sales for January were 7, and we have a days on market, average days on market of 95 days. And the median sales price in Freeport is $192,000, right? And then here's that big one that just jumps out at you is the months of inventory, and that is 9.4 months of inventory over in Freeport. All right, next we have the west of the Brazos, right? Now the west of the Brazos does include West Columbia, Brazoria, and Sweeny. These are some of the smaller towns, so I kind of put them together. If you're interested in knowing the numbers specifically to one of these towns, just give me a shout. I'll be happy to help you out there. So the number of active listings in the west of the Brazos is 118. We have a number of sales that are down to 14 from 20. And the average day on market for the west of Brazos is 105 days. That number has gone up significantly. And the median sales price is $224,950, and the months of inventory is 8.4 months. So we are seeing some significant slowdown over in in West Columbia, Sweeny, Brazoria area. So there's a pretty good opportunity for you if you are in the market to buy a home over in one of those cities. I do this video every month. This is the time of the year where we do start to see that supply of inventory sort of bottom out, right? And then as we get into March and April, we start to head into the buying season. So more buyers come onto the market. Sellers are aware of this, and sellers are ready to move and maybe buy another home as well. So more inventory begins to come onto the market, and we start to get a little bit more active. One thing that's really exciting about what's coming up for this year is seeing that inflation sort of settle out, right, and get that more stabilized, as well as having interest rates sort of find their place so that we can have buyers who are able to afford buying a home, right? We've had a tough year at the end of 2022, and we hope that going towards the end of this year, 2023, that we'll have a very healthy real estate market. All right, this is David Mills. If you guys have any questions, if you have anything that you would like to discuss, if you want me to come out and evaluate your home or give you a buyer's consultation, you can meet me here at the office. We're located here in Lake Jackson, or I can come to you. Whatever the case may be, give me a call. I'll be happy to help you.